He flew tourists over the Grand Canyon every day for 13 years, pointing out landmarks and sharing scenic stories with gentle enthusiasm. Passengers knew him as Captain Mike, the friendly pilot who made everyone feel safe in his Bell 407 helicopter. Until the day a medical emergency stranded hikers in impossible terrain, and Mike's response revealed 21 years as an Army Special Operations aviator who'd flown the most dangerous rescue missions in Afghanistan and Iraq. Welcome to the Human Stories. Before we begin this soaring story of hidden aviation expertise and life-saving courage, tell me in the comments where you're watching from today. And if you believe heroes fly among us in unexpected places, hit that subscribe button. Chief Warrant Officer for Mike Harrison had been flying tourists over the Grand Canyon for exactly 13 years, 4 months, and 8 days. Every morning at 8 a.m., he'd pre-flight his Bell 407. Brief passengers on safety procedures, and lift off for 2-hour scenic tours that showed visitors the canyon's most spectacular views. At 51, Mike was the most experienced pilot at Canyon Air Tours. Passengers specifically requested him because he had a reputation for smooth flights, interesting commentary, and an uncanny ability to find perfect lighting for photographs. Never had a safety incident. Never canceled for weather that other pilots avoided. And somehow always knew exactly where to position the helicopter for the best views. Captain Mike makes flying look effortless, passengers would say. You forget you're in a helicopter until you see the incredible views he shows you. To the tourism industry, Mike was just their reliable scenic pilot, a friendly man who'd been showing tourists the canyon for over a decade, building the company's reputation one smooth flight at a time. He lived quietly, worked steady hours, and seemed content with his peaceful routine. What they didn't know was why Mike could fly in weather conditions that grounded other pilots, why his precision flying looked more like military maneuvers than tourist flights, or why his situational awareness seemed almost supernatural in the cockpit. Mike Harrison wasn't just a scenic tour pilot. From 1990 to 2013, he was Chief Warrant Officer for Michael Harrison, United States Army Special Operations Aviation Regiment, 160th SOAR pilot. 7 combat deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. Specialized training in high-altitude rescue operations. And classified missions extracting Special Forces teams from hostile territory. But the Grand Canyon didn't need to know that. They just needed someone who could show them spectacular views safely. That was enough for Mike. Tuesday, October 10th, started like every other day. Mike completed his pre-flight inspection. Welcomed his morning passengers, a family from Ohio celebrating their anniversary, and lifted off for what that have been a routine scenic tour. At 10:47 a.m. While Mike was showing his passengers Cathedral Rock from the South Rim, his radio crackled with an emergency call that changed everything. All aircraft, this is Grand Canyon Rescue Coordination. We have 4 hikers stranded on the north face of Angel Point. Severe injuries, immediate evacuation required. Weather conditions deteriorating rapidly. Mike's military instincts engaged immediately. Angel Point's north face was notoriously difficult terrain, steep cliff faces, unpredictable wind patterns, and landing zones that challenged even experienced rescue pilots. Grand Canyon Rescue. This is Canyon Air Tour 7. What's the nature of the medical emergency? Canyon 7. We have 1 unconscious hiker with suspected spinal injury. 3 others with various trauma. They're stranded on a ledge approximately 800 feet down from the rim. Mike assessed the tactical situation with special operations precision, injured personnel in hostile terrain, deteriorating weather, complex extraction requirements. His Army aviation training recognized this as exactly the type of mission he'd flown dozens of times in combat zones. Grand Canyon Rescue. What's the status of your rescue helicopter? Canyon 7. Our rescue bird is down for maintenance. Park Service helicopter is 2 hours out. We need immediate assistance. Mike looked at his anniversary passengers, then at the storm clouds building over Angel Point. 2 hours might be too long. Grand Canyon Rescue. I can attempt extraction, but I need to brief my passengers and assess landing zones. Mike's approach to the rescue mission revealed aviation skills that went far beyond scenic tour flying. His systematic assessment of weather, terrain, and extraction requirements showed expertise forged in combat zone rescues. Folks, Mike addressed his passengers with calm authority. We've got hikers in trouble who need immediate medical evacuation. I'm qualified for this type of rescue, but I need your permission to divert from our scenic tour. The Ohio family looked confused until the husband, a veteran himself, recognized something in Mike's demeanor. Captain, you sound like you've done this before. 21 years Army Special Operations Aviation, different missions. Same skills. Those hikers don't have 2 hours. Mike began flying toward Angel Point with precision that amazed his passengers. His route selection, altitude management, and weather assessment revealed military aviation expertise. Grand Canyon Rescue. This is Canyon 7 approaching Angel Point, requesting detailed casualty report and wind conditions at the extraction site. Canyon 7. We have 1 unconscious male with suspected spinal fracture, 1 female with compound leg fracture, 2 ambulatory with various lacerations, wind gusting to 35 knots from the southwest. Mike's special operations training kicked in completely. He was conducting a combat rescue operation, assessing multiple variables that civilian pilots rarely faced. Grand Canyon Rescue. I'm going to need ground support for casualty evacuation and someone to coordinate with my passengers. Canyon 7. How do you want to proceed? Same way we extracted wounded soldiers in Afghanistan. Systematic, careful, and everyone goes home. Mike's approach to the rescue revealed training and experience that went far beyond civilian helicopter operations. His systematic planning and execution showed expertise learned in the world's most dangerous rescue environments. Passengers, Mike announced as he maneuvered toward the stranded hikers. I'm going to show you what military rescue operations look like. This isn't scenic flying, this is precision aviation. The anniversary couple watched in amazement as Mike assessed the rescue site with tactical precision. His flying was smooth, controlled, and professional, nothing like the dramatic rescue scenes in movies. Ground teams. This is Canyon 7. I can see all 4 casualties. The unconscious hiker needs immediate spinal immobilization. I'll extract him first. Mike positioned his helicopter with precision that impressed even the ground rescue coordinators monitoring the operation. His approach to the narrow ledge required skills learned in combat zones where landing zones were often under fire. Sir, the husband asked, how are you going to land on that tiny ledge? Same way I landed on rooftops in Iraq and mountain peaks in Afghanistan, very carefully, with lots of backup plans. Mike's first extraction required advanced helicopter techniques that few civilian pilots possessed. His precision flying in difficult wind conditions revealed extensive military training. Ground team. Casualty 1 secured, proceeding to medical evacuation, as Mike lifted off with the unconscious hiker. His passengers realized they were witnessing someone whose skills had been forged in the world's most demanding aviation environments. Mike's systematic evacuation of all 4 hikers demonstrated expertise that amazed both his passengers and the ground rescue teams. His multiple precision landings in deteriorating weather conditions revealed special operations training. Canyon 7. That was exceptional flying, the rescue coordinator radioed. How are you maintaining such precise control in these wind conditions? Rescue coordination. 21 years of special operations flying in worse weather than this. High-altitude rescue operations in Afghanistan prepared me for exactly these conditions. Mike's second extraction required even more advanced techniques as the wind conditions worsened. His ability to maintain helicopter control while medical personnel loaded the injured hiker showed expertise learned in combat zones. Sir, the wife passenger observed, you're not just flying a helicopter, you're conducting some kind of military operation. Mom. Military rescue operations require systematic execution under pressure. Same principles apply whether you're extracting soldiers in Afghanistan or hikers in Arizona. Mike's third and fourth extractions proved even more challenging as storm winds increased. But his special operations training allowed him to complete the mission that civilian rescue helicopters could have attempted. All casualties evacuated. Mike radioed to rescue coordination, proceeding to medical facilities. As Mike transported injured hikers to medical helicopters waiting at safer landing zones, his passengers understood they'd witnessed military aviation expertise in civilian application. As medical teams took custody of the rescued hikers and Mike returned his passengers to complete their interrupted scenic tour, the full scope of his military background became clear to both the rescue teams and his amazed passengers. "Captain Mike," the husband said as they flew back toward the visitor center, "that wasn't civilian helicopter flying, sir. Special operations aviation teaches you to extract people from impossible places under terrible conditions. Today was actually pretty routine compared to combat missions." "What was your role in special operations?" Mike's answer revealed the depth of his military experience. 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Night Stalkers. We flew the missions other pilots couldn't, inserting and extracting special forces teams in hostile territory. The rescue coordinator contacted Mike as he landed Canyon 7. "I need to know your qualifications for that rescue operation." Chief Warrant Officer for Army Special Operations Aviation. 21 years flying high-risk rescue and insertion missions in Afghanistan, Iraq, and classified operations, sir. "You just completed a rescue that our regular pilots couldn't have attempted. Where did you learn those techniques?" "High-altitude rescue operations in the Hindu Kush Mountains, urban extractions in Iraq, classified missions I can't discuss. Different terrain, same skills." Word of Mike's military background and spectacular rescue spread through the aviation community within hours. The quiet scenic tour pilot who'd been showing tourists the canyon had revealed himself to be one of the Army's most elite helicopter pilots. Local news coverage focused on the rescue, scenic tour pilot revealed as elite Army Special Operations aviator, saves for lives in canyon rescue. Mike avoided interviews, but the rescued hikers insisted on speaking about their experience. "He didn't just save our lives," said rescued hiker Jennifer Walsh. "He flew like something out of a movie, but completely calm and professional. We found out later he was some kind of elite military pilot." The anniversary couple from Ohio became Mike's biggest advocates. "We thought we were getting a scenic tour. Instead, we witnessed a military rescue operation that showed us what real heroism looks like." Canyon Air Tours owner Dave Martinez was amazed. "Mike, in 13 years, you never mentioned special operations aviation." "Dave, it wasn't relevant to showing tourists beautiful views. But today it was relevant to saving lives. Sir, your military background could revolutionize our safety capabilities." "Dave, my job is scenic tours. Military skills are just there if someone needs help." Following the canyon rescue, Mike's special operations expertise became an unofficial asset for the region's emergency response capabilities. His advanced helicopter skills supplemented local rescue operations while he continued his civilian tour pilot duties. "Mike," the Grand Canyon Rescue Coordinator asked, "would you consider providing aviation training for our rescue pilots?" "Coordinator, I can share high-altitude techniques and precision flying skills, but my primary job is scenic tours for Canyon Air Tours." Mike developed training programs that adapted special operations aviation techniques for civilian rescue pilots, sharing military expertise that enhanced regional emergency capabilities. The difference, Mike explained to rescue pilots, is that special operations flying assumes worst-case scenarios. Civilian rescue requires the same precision but adapted for different mission parameters. His training emphasized precision flying, weather assessment, and tactical decision-making, the same skills that had made him one of the Army's most elite aviators. "Captain," one rescue pilot asked, "what's the most important lesson from special operations aviation?" "Every flight decision affects mission success and lives. Military or civilian, your responsibility is bringing everyone home safely." Mike continued flying scenic tours while consulting with regional rescue services on advanced helicopter techniques. His military expertise enhanced both tourism safety and emergency response capabilities. Mike Canyon Air Tours owner Dave reflected, "That rescue changed how people see our operation." "Dave, good flying has always been about more than just scenic views. It's about maintaining safety standards that protect everyone who trusts you with their lives." Mike never talks about classified special operations missions, the dangerous extractions he flew in combat zones, or the elite aviation skills that made him a Night Stalker pilot. When passengers ask about military service, he gives the same answer: served my time, now I serve tourists. But sometimes, during scenic flights when he demonstrates precision flying or explains mountain weather patterns, passengers understand they're flying with someone whose skills were forged in the world's most demanding aviation environments. Mike's reputation as a special operations aviator led to consulting opportunities with helicopter operations throughout the Southwest. But he remained committed to his scenic tour duties and serving the Grand Canyon community. Captain Harrison, a military aviation consultant, asked, "Your special operations background could benefit commercial aviation nationwide." "Sir, I'm committed to Canyon Air Tours and this community, but I can share knowledge that makes civilian aviation safer." Mike contributed to aviation safety programs that incorporated special operations techniques into civilian helicopter training, making tourist and rescue operations safer across the country. His influence extended beyond individual flights to enhance safety standards that protected thousands of passengers and rescue personnel. The key, Mike explained to aviation safety conferences, is bringing military precision and risk assessment to civilian operations without losing the joy of flight. 2 years after the Canyon rescue, Mike Harrison continues flying scenic tours while serving as a consultant for helicopter rescue operations throughout the Southwest. His special operations expertise has enhanced aviation safety and emergency response across multiple states. Canyon Air Tours now serves as a training facility for precision helicopter techniques, with Mike's military expertise providing capabilities that didn't exist in civilian aviation before his involvement. Yet, Mike, the rescued hiker Jennifer Walsh said during a reunion visit, "You've inspired my daughter to become a pilot. She wants to help people like you did." Jennifer, helping people is what aviation should be about. Whether it's showing families beautiful views or extracting hikers from impossible places, it's all about service. Mike never sought recognition for his military background, never promoted his special operations credentials, never used his heroic rescue for personal gain. He simply continued serving through aviation, bringing military expertise to civilian flying that protected lives in ways most people never saw. 5 years after the Canyon rescue, Mike Harrison still shows up at Canyon Air Tours every morning at 8 a.m., pre-flight his bell for 107, and takes families on scenic tours that create lifetime memories. His special operations expertise has made civilian helicopter aviation safer while maintaining the wonder of flight. Pilots trained in his techniques now fly rescue and tourist operations across the country with enhanced skills and safety awareness. His military expertise multiplies through every aviator who learns precision flying from someone who mastered it in combat zones. Mike, a young pilot trainee, asked, "What's the most important thing special operations aviation taught you?" "Son, that every person who trusts you with their life deserves your absolute best. Whether it's a family seeing the Grand Canyon or soldiers in combat, the responsibility is the same." Mike Harrison represents thousands of military aviators who continue serving through civilian flying, bringing expertise forged in combat to tourism, rescue, and commercial aviation that keeps communities safe and connected. The Canyon rescue proved that military veterans bring more than just experience to civilian aviation. They bring specialized skills that can save lives when communities face their most challenging emergencies. So I ask you, have you ever flown with someone whose military background made them an exceptional pilot? Someone whose specialized training protected you in ways you didn't realize? Share their story in the comments. Because at the Human Stories, we believe the greatest flying often comes from those who learned in the most demanding skies, bringing military precision and expertise to civilian aviation that keeps us all safer. Subscribe if you believe military aviators enhance civilian flight safety. Share if you've flown with someone whose background made them extraordinary. And remember, next time you take a helicopter tour or see a rescue operation, look twice at the pilot. They might be much more than they appear.